So today is March 10th and we've been having some beautiful weather here in Michigan. It's been almost in the 60s, which is very unusual, and we're enjoying it until our next ice storm hits. In the meantime, we are going to start with our barrels that are in dry polish this week. We only have the one, and it's our Moonstone, and we were doing an experiment to see if the dry polish was the way to go, or if we needed to go with wet. And we're going to find out real quickly here. Let's pull one out and see and dry it. Well, get the slurry off a bit. It's our corn cob and aluminum oxide mixture. And let's take a look at the polish. Oh my. And like always, we drop it because it's slippery. Let's grab another one here. I just want to try and get this polish mixture off. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Look at the luster on that. It's a nice polish. This definitely did the trick. Nice polish. Yeah, let's move this camera a little. Oh, this feels like there's a chip. Nope, that's where we went at it with the flat lap last week, but there's still managed to be a chip come out of it. Yikes. Why we're not getting the focus here. Ooh, lots of little pieces look like it came out of that. It's got a nice shine. Try and get a bigger piece. All right, let's see what we have here. Yeah, I think it's still going to, even though it goes in dry polish, it's still going to require a burnish cycle to get any of that residual. I mean, you can see the powder still on my fingers. Okay. Wonder how many more are damaged in here. Nice satin matte, not matte, but nice satin shine to it. Yeah. Oh, we're getting shine off that one that's in the barrel. Ooh. Look at these. So pretty. So pretty. Okay, fantastic. I'm gonna go and rinse all these off. Just a quick rinse before we put them in and then I'll get a barrel to put them in for a burnish. And we'll take a quick look when we come back. Ooh, pretty. All right, we'll be right back. Okay, we are back after it's been rinsed and dried off. It's just lovely. It is so pretty. Let's see if we can focus. All right. These are going to definitely need a burnish cycle. They are just so pretty. Very nice. Very happy with these. Then there was that piece of labradorite that was in here. Not really getting a lab flash, though. There's a little bit of one. I think there was 2 pieces of lab in here. Tan and peach moonstone. So pretty. There was a couple of pieces that sustained damage. You know, this one. You can see the damage that happened to it. Now, I couldn't find any of this damage in the barrel. So I don't know where it went or what happened to it. And this piece. It's got damage on that corner. See where it's starting to split. That's along the cleavage line of the growth pattern. Very nice. Moonstone's a bit more of an advanced tumble. Requires a little more care than what we gave it. Oh, look at that one. Very pretty. Okay, we're going to put this in a burnish cycle and get some photos, and this one will be finished. We're going to call this a moderate success. There's just so much cleavage damage with Moonstone. But I think that the dry polish is definitely the way to go with it for that final stage. Yeah. We'll just pop it in a burnish cycle. Yeah. Okay. Moonstone. We are going to come back with our barrel. Let's see, did we have anything in 1000? We had Purple Aventurine in Smoky Quartz and Chrysoprase, which was all running in the same barrel for like a catch up and a repair. And it's been in 1000, and we'll come back with that. And we're back with our 1000 aluminum oxide pre-polish barrel, and it's a mixed barrel of Purple Aventurine, Chrysoprase, and Smoky Quartz. And some of this was a catch-up and some of it was a repair. But it's all the same MOHS hardness, so we put it in the same barrel. And it's a small barrel, it's only a 1.5 pound barrel. But look at what we're getting here. Getting a really nice smooth surface. These are looking really good. Some of these are the Fire and Ice Crackle. Well, it's not Crackle, but Fire and Ice Quartz. You can see with all the multiple fracture lines in here. It's just the lighting here some. And when it's wet, you can see it better, but the surface is feeling very smooth. It's definitely ready for polish. There's some darker pieces in here. Hang on, let me grab a flashlight. Okay. Oh, that's a UV light. That's not going to do anything. I was trying to show that there is, even though it's really dark, you can still see through it. Still has some translucency to it, but in this stage we're not going to see it. And not with this lighting either. That's a really pretty piece. Okay, Smoky Quartz is ready to move on to polish. And it's going to catch up with those other ones that we had in polish from last week. Or that had finished last week. Okay, our Purple Aventurine. Purple Aventurine. Isn't it pretty? It has been 1 week in 1,000. Look at all the mica flash in that. The surface is super, super smooth. I really like doing this additional pre-polish stage. Instead of just doing the 500 and then going to polish, I like this extra stage of the 1000. It just refines that surface and gets rid of those little scratches even further. It's really, really doing a really nice job. So we've got like a really pale lavender. We have a lot of pieces that are still, that need more 120, but these were the ones that were ready to move forward. And so our Purple Aventurine batch is getting kind of split all over the place. But these particular pieces are ready for a wash cycle and then polish. We're doing really good in this barrel. And then our Chrysoprase, which we had started a while ago, ended up split all over the place, and there's a Smokey. It was in so many different phases. There just isn't enough to run it in a batch by itself, so it has to be added to these other barrels. But oh wow, I'm so pleased with this Chrysoprase. It is really turning out lovely. Here, let's try this one. You can see it's already starting to have a little bit of a shine to it. But it's going to be spectacular when we get it through polish. Chrysoprase. Very pretty. This one's still wet. Okay. The Chrysoprase and the Aventurine and the Smoky Quartz are all ready for a wash cycle and to be sent to polish. And we're going to do a wet polish with these because it's a harder stone. And the wet polish is just aluminum oxide and water. So that's a wet polish. The dry polish is aluminum oxide and corn cob. Okay, this is our only 1,000 barrel this week. We have a 500 barrel coming up next. Be right back. Yellow Jasper. It has been running in 500 pre-polish, which is the aluminum oxide, for 1 week. And this has been a catch-up, not a repair. And I know we had run yellow Jasper earlier in the year. Wow, look at that quartz vein in there. Super cool. But we had set this aside because we had to split the batch for barrel sizes. And it had just been sitting there, waiting for other Jaspers that needed 500. And we finally got a barrel. We were able to do it. This stuff is fantastic. It's like, wow. Just absolutely love. There's no chipping. There's no damage to the ceramic media. We do have some small pieces. And you know, we knew that. You know, and that's fine. Look at the design on that one. Mother Nature. She sure is amazing. Has a wonderful imagination. Beautiful patterns. I like this one too. Interesting shape. Yep, yellow Jasper. It's doing beautifully. I'm gonna definitely... These are not chips. These are just pieces that have gotten really small. This is not damage. Okay, we just had a lot of small pieces. Oh yeah, it's all turning out really nice. I just love how you can see the quartz in there. Little druzy. Sparkle. Wow. Super cool. Alright, this is definitely ready for 1000. Could probably skip 1000 and go straight to polish, but we like that process of the extra refinement of the surface. So we're going to give it a wash cycle and put it in 1000 polish. Now in this barrel, we also had placed a piece of Polychrome or Desert Jasper that was catching or was put back for additional repair, and now it is perfect. It is definitely ready to go to 1000, and that can run in the same Jasper barrel. And this is a piece of Serape that turned out really nice. We're going to put it in to help fill that barrel. It's another piece of Serape that's ready for 1000. And this is a big piece. This is a big hunk. Big chunk here. It's chonky. That's really pretty. That is natural to the stone, not a break. Ooh, sorry. Okay. I'm going to put that in here too. And sorry about that. And then this barrel will be ready for wash cycle and go to 1000. Yay, lots of success today. And then we're gonna be back with our one barrel that was in medium. Be right back. And we're back with our one barrel that's in medium 120, 220 silicone carbide grit. It's our Indigo Gabbro, which is also known as Mystic Merlinite. And it is undergone an experiment from last week. It went in and it had a very sandy, rough texture. And we were wondering if the 120 would fix that. And it has, because the surface is so much smoother now. It's not that sandy, gritty feel at all. Pretty lavenders and a dark, like a silver gray, black. There's some pretty colors in here. Very interesting stone. It's rounded beautifully. The surface texture feels really nice now. Don't really think it needs a second week in medium. I think this is going to be ready to move to 500. I'm not finding any chippage. There was no damage in the ceramic media. Yeah, this is definitely ready to move forward. It's just really pretty. Okay, we are going to most definitely move this forward. Oh, I broke that one. Gotta get rid of all these little slivers now. So you can see it's kind of a fragile soft stone if I can break it with my fingers. But I'd rather do that now than have that happen. Here, let's get rid of these. During a barrel run where it could damage the other stones. And these are the things that we're looking for. You know, we're looking for weak spots that could, you know, have potential damage. See these sharp edges here from where it broke will, you know, could scar up the surface and cause all kinds of damage. We don't want that to happen. I'm just looking for some other weak spots in the stone. Who would think you could break a stone with your hand? But we've done it several times on this show. Okay, so it was just the one piece that looked like it had potential damage, which it did. And we want to get all these little slivers. Okay, so what I can do with this, actually I'm just going to put it in the Zen Garden. I really don't want to put this in another 60-90 batch because it'll just, you know, be really super tiny. So these edges need to be flat lapped to get the sharpness off of it, and then I'll put it in the Zen Garden because, yeah, that'd be the best usage of it. These little slivers I'm just going to throw out. They're too small for our chip. Our chip project was too small. Okay. Indigo Gabbro. We're going to give it a wash cycle and put it to 500. We'll see it next week. Alrighty, be right back. We're back with our barrels, our many barrels that are in 6090 coarse silicone carbide grit. We have a lot of items here, and it's just going to be kind of cool to dig through. So this barrel is the small Mexican lace agate, along with some of our final pieces of Botswana agate that had just been hanging out in our stores waiting for a barrel. And since we ran an agate in 6090, this is where it needed to be. And it still needs to be in 6090. This Botswana is the bane of my existence. It's just simply going to take forever. It's such a hard stone, and it just takes so long for these edges to smooth out. It probably could have gone in 4060. 4670? Yeah, 4670. Which is an even coarser grit than the 6090. But we didn't. So, lesson learned. That's got some really cool patterning on it. All right, these definitely need more 6090, no doubt about it. This is our lovely Botswana agate. Oh, we got some chippage there. We added ceramic media this time to help cushion it a little bit. Just crazy. Just hang on, let's. There we go. Woo! Put the patterning on that. Holy crap-a-moly. I love this stuff. It is so cool. We got a piece of golden healer quartz that was we put on the flat lap to help get rid of some of this fracturing, the cleavage marks. We just wanted to smooth it out so it wouldn't be a grit catcher. Did a good job with it, and it had to go into the 6090 to get it ready for its next stage, which it definitely is ready for 120. But now, all of these lovely little pieces of, I don't know what to do. I think this is going to just stay in 6090 for another week. I just want to remove any chips and let it run again. It still has a lot of shaping that has to happen. That's just a weird piece. Just a weird piece. But again, we're looking for chips. Whew, look at that. I don't believe that this batch of Crazy Lace is ever going to be that really pretty, all smooth, lovely pieces that we're used to, like with Jasper. I think this is going to stay gnarly, you know, with all these bumps and everything. I don't think any of these bumps and ridges are ever going to come out. And I'm alright with that because this is just such a cool stone. But I do want them nice and polished. I mean, look at that zigzag. Almost looks like an echocardiogram. Really cool. But we're looking for like things like this. Little tiny chip. Because even with the rough edges and all the bumps and grooves and everything, we still want to get the best surface that we can. We don't want any crazing. No crazing on our crazy lace. This stuff is awesome. I mean, really, if you had all the time in the world, you could just sit here and get lost in each and every piece. I mean, even though this piece, I mean, look how tiny this piece is. But look at how intricate the design. Millions of years created that. Wow. And these, of course, are wet, so they're nice and sparkly. So I'm not finding too much more. Still just that one piece of chippage. These are like little tiny pebbles. I think if I was going to do Crazy Lace again, I would not buy the small size ever. I would buy the medium or the large and then break it down myself. Because these, I mean, really, these are pebbles. But they are insane pebbles. I think all these could make gorgeous pieces of jewelry. Alright, now we want to go through all this ceramic media and see if we find any more pieces of chips or anything in here. And you just comb through it, and you look for broken pieces of media, and you look for any little chips. And I think we're good. I think it was just the one chip. Oh, alright, we will add that to our chip bag. And then we will put the ceramic media back in the barrel, and we will run it. We're not going to give it a wash cycle. We're just going to put some more 6090 coarse grit in here. And you know, it's a 1.5 pound barrel, so we're going to use 1.5 tablespoons of grit. I try to use 1 tablespoon per pound of barrel, and that seems to be working really well with across all the types of stones we've been using. The grit, that seems to be the right amount. Very rarely is there grit left over after a 7-day tumble cycle. Unless the barrel's overpacked. And if the barrel's overpacked, the grit can't do its job, and so it just kind of floats around in there. And it comes out when you wash it. And when you wash the barrel, you see all that grit come out, which is just a waste of grit. So try not to overpack your barrels. That's why we try to do them at 2/3 full. And, yeah. Okay. We will be right back with our next barrel in course. And we're back with Yellow Aventurine, which has been 2 weeks in our 6090 coarse silicone carbide grit, and it is looking amazing. There's still some shaping that needs to happen, but we are so pleased with the way that it is turning out. There is very little, if any, chipping in this batch. But as you can see, it needs a lot more shaping. Beautiful, beautiful, yummy yellow. Nice buttery yellow. Really, really pretty. We're retaining a lot of the mass, which is good. So we'll have some nice sizes, hopefully, when we finish. We need to go through the ceramic media and make sure that there's no surprises in there. Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Yellow Aventurine. Not seeing so far any real problems, like any real grit catchers or pieces that would shear off and cause an issue. Whoops. It's an interesting shape. I hope that stays. Hope that doesn't get knocked off. Yeah. Yellow Aventurine's looking really good. Not bad for 2 weeks in 6090. Okay, that's looking really super good. And the barrel is still fairly full. You know, it's still at 2/3. Looks like chunks of pineapple, doesn't it? We're just going to do a quick run through of the ceramic media, which looks amazing. I don't see any problems. Okay, let's add that back to the barrel. Give it a little shake. Seeing it all slides down in the little crevices. Yeah. Okay. We will, and now this is a 3-pound barrel. So we will add 3 tablespoons of silicone carbide to this, of the 6090. And we will put in enough water to just reach below the first row of stones, because we don't want too much water in here, because then it'll just kind of be a mess. So we will put this yummy stuff on for another week and we'll see where we're at. Okay, we'll be back with Sea Jasper. Sea Jasper, also known as Ocean Jasper, which are both trade names for Orbicular Jasper. This comes out of Madagascar. It's really super cool. It looks like a hunk of meat, doesn't it? Still really sharp edges. So, and the texture's still rough. I think it's definitely, I mean, look at it, it needs a lot more shaping. But really super cool patterns. That VUG could be a problem. VUG is in VUG, which is a deep pocket. We're not seeing breakage. We're not finding chips in the barrel. But it just requires a lot of shaping. Such cool patterns. It's a nice color in that one. Lots of issues with this. Lots of potential issues. We're letting it run through 6090 to see if any of this will work itself out, which I doubt sincerely. Some of this is going to become garden stones, because the pitting and the vugs and everything is just so damaging that we can't let it run through a good cycle, you know, the higher levels up to polish, because it'll just ruin the stones and the rest of the stones in the batch. So we'll have to, here's a chip. Oh, and there's a chip down here too. See? No chips. Alright, I think we got all the chips. Ceramic media looked okay. So yeah, we are, how many weeks? 2 weeks with the Sea Jasper. We're gonna run it for another, probably 2 or 3. And these are coming out, going in the chip bag. Oh, that's really cool. Look at the green and yellow on that. Pretty neat. This one right here, cracked. I think we're just going to put that in the garden stones. Might as well start weeding it out. Okay, we're going to run this again. Put it in our 3-pound barrel. We're going to put our ceramic media back in here. Put these stones, and we're going to put 3. Oh, I found a couple more chips. Look at that. We're going to put 3 tablespoons of 6090 grit in here. Yeah. And let it run for another week. Okay, we're moving right along. We're going to be back with our Firework Obsidian, which I'm a little nervous about. Just because we had so much trouble with the Smokey Obsidian. But, okay. Alright. We will be right back with our next barrel. We will see Jasper next week. Firework Obsidian has been running for 3 weeks in 6090 coarse silicone carbide grit. And it is looking fabulous. Oh, I'm nervous to do this, but that's a big fracture line. Nope, didn't crack. Okay. Trying to keep this as a really big piece. Wow. Really cool. I think that what we're trying to do here is get this ready for medium, and it's not. There's still, like, this piece is ready for medium, but this one still has some shaping. A lot of shaping still needs to happen to this one. Some of these we added after the after 1 week had already run. Yeah, these are just huge. This one's ready for 120. Let's set it aside. Almost. There's just some more rough edges there we want to smooth out. So now that is the host rock that was on it, where it chipped off from when they at the mine. So we're kind of see how that happened, turns out. This one is well shaped. Still has a really rough texture. This could use just a little bit more. This little piece. Both of these. Oh, I broke it. I just had a feeling about that one. Just had a feeling. I'm going to put this one back in because it's going to be 6090 and that's where we want this shaped. And this little piece I'm going to put in the Zen Garden. And then we have these for the chip barrel. So we just took 2 pieces out that's ready for 120, and the rest is going to run 1 more week in 6090. Okay, we will be right back. And we're back with our rose quartz. It's been running in 6090 coarse grit for 3 weeks, but it's had a bit of a snafu. It's been running in our 6-pound barrel, which ended up being a little too heavy for our machine, with considering the ceramic media and the amount of material we've had in it. And it's been fine by itself to run, but it's a 2 the machine holds 2 of these 6-pound barrels, and the other one, between the weight between the 2, it's been too much. So this has been like a day on, a day off, a day on, a day off for about 2 weeks. So even though we say it's been running for 3, it's really had 2-ish full weeks. So I went ahead and I separated all these out, and these are ready for 120. So they're shaped and rounded nicely, and it's ready for medium. So we're going to take this out of our barrel, which should alleviate a lot of weight problems. And then back here, all of this is needing, obviously, another week or two. Yeah, you can't see the pink in this. It's such a pale pink. The camera washes it out. It has a lot of work that needs to be done still a lot of shaping and whatnot. Some of these are getting a lot closer, but it still needs some shaping. This is another. I left a couple of these really big hunks because I wanted some freeform rose quartz. And we're just going to let these shape naturally in the tumbler, if you can call tumbling natural. But it needs a little bit more work. So back in it goes. A lot of these are really close, but they just need, some more shaping. So we're going to put those back in for another week. And our barrel is a lot lighter. And they are all pretty big pieces, pretty big hunks. But this only takes us to about half full. So we're going to have to put some, you put the ceramic media in here and hope it'll be enough to run it. We did have some chips over here. This is broken ceramic media that we cleaned and removed, and we'll throw that away. And then our rose quartz chips, we're going to add to our bag for our chip project. So you see we've got quite a few. And that's to be expected with these huge honker pieces. Okay. So we'll put those away. And we will add our ceramic media back in here. And we will recharge the barrel with some more 6090. Let's get this so you can see it. There, you see how the barrel's not quite full. Not quite to the 2/3. And we have the ceramic media. It's getting into all the lovely little nooks and crannies. We're going to have to add some more. And we're going to let this run for another week, and hopefully it'll do the job. And we'll set the others. We'll set this aside.